Good afternoon. May all rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. Place your right hand over your heart. Now ready, begin. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Hey, yo, get out your phone.
Ready? One,
All right.
2, 3.
Everybody say sausage, keep it going. Eggs, bacon, grits, sausage.
Good evening, families, community, staff members, honored guests, Legionnaires, class of 2020, graduates. It is with great pleasure I welcome you to this virtual graduation. This is very strange to me to give this speech to a computer screen. I have gotten to know some of you extremely well since I took over as your principal last year from Ms. Fleming, and in that time I have become extremely proud of you. And I know Ms. Fleming is proud of you as well. She sends you her love and wishes of success. With that said, the elephant in the room. This is a very weird year, a year that has brought with it stress and trauma and a call for all of us to sacrifice. Very few of us have sacrificed as much as you, class of 2020. No prom, no grad night, a graduation ceremony in cars and by video. It is a strange year. However, do not allow yourself to be defined by the events of this year alone. The COVID-19 pandemic, the recent riots are indeed frightening, and will have a lasting impact on our culture. These events are something that you have endured, and I wish I could tell you that they are the worst events you will ever have to face in life, but I can't. Life is full of curveballs. For today, though, the most important thing is that you graduated. You did it. Now is your day, your time to go out into the adult world, whatever that looks like for you, to become a responsible member of the community. Sounds fun, right? Well, it can be. I think very few of us look back at our experiences in high school and say, those were the best years of my life. If you do, or in a couple of years you find yourself doing this, know that you are doing adulting wrong. Now is the time when you can discover who you are, what you believe, and just what it is you stand for. This is also the time when you can begin to follow your dreams. And despite every Disney movie you have ever seen, dreams don't just fall into your lap. They are not delivered by a fairy godmother or by a magical sword. They are earned through hard work and perspiration. Dreams are never easy. Legionnaires, I know that whatever you choose to do in life, you will be awesome at it. I know you guys, and I can affirm that each one of you are individually awesome in your own way. Be yourself. Let your freak flag fly. I also want to challenge you to be a little more critical. Don't just take information for granted. Dig deeper. Learn what you can about issues and make your own decisions. And finally, set your goals high. Most of us came out of high school believing we were going to change the world. Then we got out into the world, realized it's a big, scary place. We got scared, we got lazy, we got overrun with the minutia of life, and we gave up. But most of us were not legionnaires. Power, intellect, innovation, these are your watchwords. Live up to them. Some of you are going to UCLA, some to San Diego State, some to NAU, some to Riverside, to Maryland, to Delaware, to Hawaii, to Chapman, to RIT, to Embry-Riddle, to Monterey, Biola, University of Chester, some of you to Palomar, some will get jobs, some of you might even choose to join the military. These institutions will shape you, make you stronger, but at your heart, you will always be a Legionnaire. Lean into that. Remember the Legionnaire spirit and continue to support each other, protect those weaker than you, and remember, we are all family. It has been my honor to get to know you and to serve as your principal. Enjoy the rest of your virtual graduation. Oh, and one more thing. Be loud, be proud, and be the Legion.
Hi, everybody. I couldn't be prouder of all of you in the graduating class of 2020, as well as the teachers and the coaches, and most of all, parents and family who guided you along the way. Now, graduating is a big achievement under any circumstances. Some of you have had to overcome serious obstacles along the way, whether it was an illness or a parent losing a job, or living in a neighborhood where people too often count you out. Along with the usual challenges of growing up, all of you have had to deal with the added pressures of social media, reports of school shootings, and the specter of climate change. And then, just as you're about to celebrate having made it through, just as you've been looking forward to proms and senior nights, graduation ceremonies, and let's face it, a whole bunch of parties, the world is turned upside down by a global pandemic. And as much as I'm sure you love your parents, I'll bet that being stuck at home with them and playing board games or watching Tiger King on TV is not exactly how you envisioned the last few months of your senior year. Now, I'll be honest with you. The disappointments of missing a live graduation, those will pass pretty quick. I don't remember much of my own high school graduation. I know that not having to sit there and listen to a commencement speaker isn't all that bad. Mine usually go on way too long. Also, not that many people look great in those caps, especially if you have big ears like me. And you'll have plenty of time to catch up with your friends once the immediate public health crisis is over. But what remains true is that your graduation marks your passage into adulthood, the time when you begin to take charge of your own life. It's when you get to decide what's important to you, the kind of career you want to pursue, who you want to build a family with, the values you want to live by. And given the current state of the world, that may be kind of scary. If you'd planned on going away for college, getting dropped off at campus in the fall, that's no longer a given. If you are planning to work while going to school, finding that first job is going to be tougher. Even families that are relatively well off are dealing with massive uncertainty. Those who were struggling before, they're hanging on by a thread. All of which means that you're going to have to grow up faster than some generations. This pandemic has shaken up the status quo and laid bare a lot of our country's deep-seated problems, from massive economic inequality to ongoing racial disparities to a lack of basic health care for people who need it. It's woken a lot of young people up to the fact that the old ways of doing things just don't work. That it doesn't matter how much money you make if everyone around you is hungry and sick, and that our society and our democracy only work when we think not just about ourselves, but about each other. It's also pulled the curtain back on another hard truth, something that we all have to eventually accept once our childhood comes to an end. You know, all those adults that you used to think were in charge and knew what they were doing, turns out they don't have all the answers. A lot of them aren't even asking the right questions. So if the world's going to get better, it's going to be up to you. That realization may be kind of intimidating, but I hope it's also inspiring. With all the challenges this country faces right now, nobody can tell you, no, you're too young to understand, or this is how it's always been done. Because with so much uncertainty, with everything suddenly up for grabs, this is your generation's world to shape. Since I'm one of the old guys, I won't tell you what to do with this power that rests in your hands, but I'll leave you with 3 quick pieces of advice. First, don't be afraid. America's gone through tough times before: slavery, civil war, famine, disease, the Great Depression, and 9/11. And each time, we came out stronger. Usually because a new generation, young people like you, learned from past mistakes and figured out how to make things better. Second, do what you think is right. Doing what feels good, what's convenient, what's easy, that's how little kids think. Unfortunately, a lot of so-called grown-ups, including some with fancy titles and important jobs, still think that way, which is why things are so screwed up. I hope that instead you decide to ground yourself in values that last, like honesty, hard work, responsibility, fairness, generosity, respect for others. You won't get it right every time. You'll make mistakes, like we all do. But if you listen to the truth that's inside yourself, even when it's hard, even when it's inconvenient, people will notice. They'll gravitate towards you. And you'll be part of the solution instead of part of the problem. And finally, build a community. No one does big things by themselves. Right now, when people are scared, it's easy to be cynical and say, let me just look out for myself, or my family, or people who look or think or pray like me. But if we're going to get through these difficult times, if we're going to create a world where everybody has opportunity to find a job and afford college, if we're going to save the environment and defeat future pandemics, then we're going to have to do it together. So be alive to one another's struggles. Stand up for one another's rights. Leave behind all the old ways of thinking that divide us: sexism, racial prejudice, status, greed, and set the world on a different path. When you need help, Michelle and I have made it the mission of our foundation to give young people like you the skills and support to lead in your own communities and to connect you with other young leaders around the country and around the globe. But the truth is, you don't need us to tell you what to do, because in so many ways, you've already started to lead. Congratulations, class of 2020. Keep making us proud.
I briefly want to welcome all of you to our 2020 Bonsall High School graduation ceremony. Thank you. I know it's been a very challenging, difficult school year in many ways, and I appreciate the parents, Board of Trustees, Dr. Fowler, staff, and everyone for their continued support and dedication to every Bonsall High School graduating senior. I want to thank our Board of Trustees, President Lou Riddle, Trustees Larissa Anderson, Michael Gaddis, Roger Murchat, and Dick Olson for their continued dedication to the seniors and all students at Bonsall High School. I'd like to thank Dr. Fowler for his continued enthusiasm throughout this challenging school year. He has been dedicated and very supportive and has wanted what's best for every single senior and every student at Bonsall High School. Our teachers have been beyond dedicated. They are creative, hardworking, and I want to thank all of our classroom teachers for all that you have done, especially in second semester distance learning and doing the right thing for our seniors and the Bonsall High School students. Parents, this is a great reminder with everything that has taken place in the 2019-20 school year, and especially right now, that the greatest gift to grandparents, aunts, uncles, and parents that we can give, that you can give your graduating senior right now, is continued and improved love, guidance, and support in the next steps of their life. Thank you for being there for our students throughout the school year, and thank you for continuing and improving everything that you're going to do to guide and support them in the next steps of their lives. I want to just say to our graduating seniors, every single one of you is uniquely made with gifts and talents that no other person in the world has. You have an opportunity to take the purpose that you have inside and make a difference in the way that you want to make a difference in life with the gifts and skills and talents that only you have. I wish you the very best. Work hard, be dedicated as you take those next steps into college, if you're attending college, or with your family, or your chosen career path. Congratulations to every graduating senior at Bonsall High School. Have a terrific summer. I wish you the best.
You did it kicking and screaming, but you did it.
Congratulations, Randy.
Randy, we're all so proud of you, and we can't wait to see where life takes you and watch you grow into the man you're going to be.
We love you.
Congratulations.
Yay!
Congratulations, Avery. Well, you're off to do great things, buddy. We're so proud of you. We knew you could do it.
You made it.
I love you, and I'm gonna miss you while you're at college. Do good in school.
To all the grads, go off and do great things, guys. I met you all. You're a great class. Go do it. Bye. We love you.
Bye.
We love you.
Shout out goes for Luis Medina, my kid. Super proud of you, boy. Like, I know it wasn't easy, nor for you, nor for me, nor for the teachers, but we did it.
Hello, my name is Leila McDonald, and I'm the CEO at the Faubourg Chamber of Commerce. On behalf of the community, I would like to congratulate you on this momentous occasion. We are so proud of how far you have come. Graduation is the beginning of a whole new adventure, and we look forward to how much you will accomplish. We hope that you will follow your passion, whatever it may be. Take time to enjoy the journey along the way, and remember the community, family, and friends who believe in you and are cheering you on no matter where you are. Congratulations, class of 2020.
Taylor, I just want to let you know that we are so very proud of you and of all the accomplishments you made. And we know you are going to do great in the future. And we are so proud of you. Congratulations on your graduation, class of 2020.
Congratulations, Buggy. I love you. I'm super proud of you, honey. I hope you have wonderful adventures in the future.
Go out the way there.
To the graduating class of 2020. I'm sorry if things aren't going as planned. I'm sorry if you're worried about prom or graduation. I'm sorry if the memories that are going to be made aren't the same as what you had pictured for your whole life in your head. But it's gonna be okay. We're gonna make better memories. We're gonna have fun times with or without things going as planned. It's going to be a good rest of the year. I love you all.
Hi, this is Nick Collison with the Oklahoma City Thunder. I'd like to say congratulations to all the 2020 graduates. You all should be incredibly proud of yourselves for getting that diploma. I'd also like to thank you for your sacrifice. You all are staying at home and doing the right thing, and I know that's not easy. It's a big sacrifice to not be able to walk across that stage, not be able to have your graduation parties, not being able to celebrate with your friends. But I want you to think about all the things that you accomplished. You did all the schoolwork. You probably overcame some challenges. Maybe you had activities that you put in a lot of time and effort into. Maybe there was a special teacher that helped you along the way. These will be the memories that you have. This is what your school experience was all about. It's a difficult time for a lot of people, but with these difficult times come a lot of opportunities. We're going to need big changes and a lot of work coming out of this. We're going to need your generation. You guys are going to be the next innovators, workers, citizens, and voters to help come out of this and change the world and make it a better place. When this is all over, the class of 2020 is going to have an incredibly strong bond because you were able to get through this together. I look forward to the brighter days ahead, and I'm really excited to see what you guys do.
On behalf of my entire family, it is with great honor that I present the 3rd annual Dale Costa Memorial Scholarship. This scholarship is presented to a graduating BHS student who will be attending Palomar College full-time in the fall, has plans to transfer to a 4-year university, and has demonstrated a desire to assist and benefit our community through service. My dad was an amazing man. Even as a young boy growing up in a challenging household, he knew that hard work would lead to a much better life. After high school, my dad attempted Compton Junior College and then transferred to Long Beach State University. While pursuing higher education, he was drafted into the U.S. Army and was stationed in Texas and Northern California. Because our dad worked full-time or was in the military, his undergraduate degree took 12 long years to complete. But he never stopped working toward his goal of being the first in his family to graduate from college. When my dad died in December 2016, our family created this scholarship in his name. in partnership with the Bonsall Education Foundation. Many reasons went into this decision, including that my dad lived life surrounded by Bonsall educators and that he loved supporting our small but mighty Bonsall High School. This scholarship continues his legacy. Our first recipient, Melinda Lopez, recently transferred from Palomar College to continue her studies as a sociology major at Cal State San Marcos. Our 2019 recipient, Christiana Pineda, is continuing her studies at Palomar College as a physical geography major and plans to transfer to San Diego State University in 2021. Both recipients have expressed recent interest in pursuing master's degrees after completing their undergraduate courses. Congratulations to them both on continued success. The third annual recipient of the Dale Costa Memorial Scholarship is known as a well-respected and very kind leader by the senior class and school staff. She has persevered through many challenges during her 4 years of high school and has plans to complete college and become a nurse. My dad would have been very honored to know her, and he would most definitely approve of a scholarship in his name being awarded to the very wonderful Miss Jessica Romero. Congratulations, Jessica.
Good afternoon, everyone. I can't express just how much I appreciate that you have taken the time to view this ceremony today. This may not be entirely what this distinguished, driven, innovative, and powerful group of young adults truly deserves, but it is our way of doing what we can to acknowledge their years of hard work and to celebrate their accomplishments one last time together. Now let me introduce myself. My name is Madison Walsh, and I've had the privilege to be a member of the class of 2020 and to represent them as Bonsall High School Student Body President for the past 2 years and Bonsall Unified School District Student Representative this year. I have devoted myself to supporting the students in every way I can, and I am honored to have the privilege to speak in front of all of you today. I wrote the first draft of the speech on March 19th, just under a week after the schools announced, for what we didn't know, that they would be shut down for the rest of the school year. I wrote it as a letter of sorts from me to the class of 2020. It was for closure and my way of communicating my love for this amazing, distinguished class of students. At the time, I was disappointed, heartbroken, absolutely distraught, just as many of my peers had also felt, because I knew it was unlikely we would have the opportunity to come together again and celebrate the conclusion of 12 plus years, all of which built up to this one moment of accomplishment that we were meant to share together with our friends, our family, our mentors, that has now unexpectedly been taken from us. As I read through it again, I realized I wanted to send a different message. Not one of a class that seemed to be robbed of their final moments together, but I wanted to highlight a class that has never once wavered, a class that looked adversity in the eyes multiple times and persevered. I want to share some of their story in hopes of providing some insight on the true spirit of this class, so together we can truly understand what it took for each of them to reach this moment. The class of 2020 joined the BHS family in the midst of a controversial election year. BUSD was attempting to pass their first bond to aid the construction of a new high school, and at the time, many of these young adults were 14, maybe 15, and were already beginning to be politically active by actively campaigning for their school. Many of them did not quite know what project-based learning was, or what it meant to be a part of a small school, but they still took that leap of faith. They demonstrated their bravery and their inner drive to seek out new experiences. Sadly, the bond failed, and the district was left again to try in 2 years. In their sophomore year, the Bonsall community experienced the Lilac fires. Schools were closed for the remainder of the first semester, final exams and end of semester events were canceled, and many of our students experienced long-lasting impacts as a result of this tragedy. It was a moment in time the community will remember for years to come. Their junior year, BUSD attempted to pass their second bond to build a new high school. At this point, it was evident the class of 2020 would not have the opportunity to reap any rewards of this bond passing. However, nonetheless, many of them took to their neighborhoods handing out pamphlets and took part of campaign photo shoots. Again, the bond failed. And now, here we are today. Having missed out on arguably the most important months of our senior year, I share this because I would like to request that everyone understand that we are not celebrating any normal group of students. We are celebrating an ambitious, innovative, powerful group of young adults that have experienced events that no normal high school student experiences. They share these experiences together, and it is a bond that is hard to break. I doubt many of us would have been able to reach this point today without the immense amount of support from our families, our teachers, our staff, our friends, and community. I'd like to personally thank each and every parent listening for allowing me the privilege to graduate with your student. You have done an amazing job supporting them, and for that, thank you. I would like to thank our little old Bonsall for mostly welcoming us with open arms. Thank you for your sports sponsors. Thank you for your donations, your volunteering. Thank you to Ping for always being a source we could reach out to when we needed some parental and community aid. Thank you to the teachers. Thank you to the staff and every other amazing employee at Bonsall High School. You have been here for every second of our high school career. You have been the supporting force behind our character growth as young students inside and outside of the classroom. The relationships and bonds developed as a result of our amazing BHS support system are lifelong. There are lessons taught by teachers that are more than just how to solve a math problem and who are the Axis powers. There are lessons on how we grow as people, how we can be the main characters in our lives confidently. It takes a very special person to be able to teach those kinds of impactful lessons. These lessons were taught by more than just our teachers. They were taught by our administration, our office aides, our paraprofessionals, taught by the people often forgotten in speeches like these. We genuinely couldn't have done it without you, so thank you. So, to share a bit of that letter I wrote, Dear Class of 2020, I am so proud of you. I'm proud of your resilience, your strength, your care, your capability. I truly hope that the world is prepared for what we all will do. We looked adversity in the eyes and we told it no, not today. We exceeded expectations, and in these last moments, we came together one more time to celebrate our firsts and our successes. Again, these aren't normal high school experiences. These are things that shape us as people, as young adults. These experiences that will be taken with us for the rest of our lives, and it is what we do with these experiences that will be the most impactful. Here we are today to take the world by storm, a true force to be reckoned with. I share these stories not to bring back feelings of despair and hopelessness in the time of celebration. I highlight them as adversities we overcame together. I highlight them to show the true strength of this class. I look forward to the people all of us will become in this new chapter of our lives. It'd be foolish of me to say that we have seen the end of tragedy, but we have a new set of tools and skills that we can take with us to help us navigate this ever unexpectedly changing world. Families, friends, community members, I hope that you can look at your student and fully see what an amazing, strong, and capable person they have become. And I'm honored to have been a part of that growth in any shape, way, or form. As a final message, thank you for being here to celebrate the class of 2020, the class that overcame together.
Bill Goldberg here. Just want to take a moment to congratulate the seniors of Bonsall High School. Way to go. You finally did it. You graduated. Now, I completely understand it's not like other normal graduating classes with what's going on, but you did something that's very commendable. Nobody can ever take it away from you. Way to go.
Congratulations to these students, for they have completed 4 Palomar College courses, a total of 12 units, in order to obtain the Electronic Publishing Certificate.
This certificate will allow students to enter the workplace in the field of digital publishing with their specialized training.
Congratulations, class of 2020.
We might be small, but we are mighty. And I just really want to say how much I enjoyed all of the athletic events that the seniors brought to our school.
Good looks, brains, a heart, and a diploma too. Now you guys really got it all. Congratulations. I would like to congratulate the Bonsall High School class of 2020. 4 years have gone by, and I have had the privilege to teach and guide you. My hope is that all of you are able to advance confidently in the direction of your dreams. In closing, I would like to share a quote from Dr. Seuss. Sometimes you will never value a moment until it becomes a memory. The best to all of you.
Hey seniors, congrats on your big day. I also got a couple words for you guys, so here goes. Congrats, and good luck. Just kidding, I actually wrote something out for you guys, although it's still not too long since I realize it's kind of futile to tell a bunch of teenagers some life advice after they've been praised nonstop for the last few hours. Well, here we go anyway. In high school, teachers teach. In college, students learn. The onus shifts, and it becomes incumbent upon the student to drive their own learning and push their own boundaries. Whether this subtle but profound difference becomes an obstacle or a golden opportunity depends solely on you. But if you can embrace it as a chance to spread your wings and test your limits in a way that's no longer available in the American high school system, but still thrives in its universities, then it opens the door to any number of life paths, establishes new bounds for yourself, and promotes your standing in relation to your peers throughout the nation. That's all I got. Once again, seniors, congrats and good luck.
Class of 2020. Judge by content, not by cover. Clothing is cultural choice and skin color is ancestor geography. Isms exist as fears and lies covering people's true character. See deeper. We all like clean water, good food, achieving goals, having fun. We all feel joy, sorrow, frustration, hunger, hate, love. We all bleed red. Most people are not selfishly out with weapons. Most people are being safe and healthy and caring, not only for their family, but for everyone. It's hard to see past the time we're in, but your group is particularly talented, hardworking, warm-hearted, with a worldview. You are the best prepared to take this experience and help us be better. No pressure. This will come naturally because you're you, but it'll take work. Remember, we have more in common than not.
Congratulations, class of 2020, from all your 2- and 4-legged friends at Rawhide Ranch. Yeehaw!
To the graduating class of 2020, I just want to say congratulations. You are going to be the most talked about graduating class of all time. So here's to giving them something good to talk about. And as you enter the real world that's about to get really weird, I don't want you to forget how much you've learned, how much you've experienced, and how much you've gone through to get to this point. And as you end your high school career, and I know that this isn't the end that some of you have hoped for, some of you just can't wait for this to be over, and some of you are just going to TikTok your way into adulthood, I just want you to know this, that you have not only what it takes to make it in this world, but to make it better. You are the youngest generation of leaders. You're the youngest generation of change makers. You're the youngest generation of do-gooders, and you have continued to show up for each other time and time again. So whether next year you're taking a gap year, you're headed off to college, you're going to serve our country, you're going to chase your career path, or you're still just trying to figure it out, know this, you're not done. This isn't the end. You may have had to hit pause on your plans, but that doesn't mean that you have to hit pause on your purpose, because the world needs you to unlock your talents. We need you to solve these really big problems. We need you to have the courage to stand up for each other. We need you to have heart for the people who right now are struggling in a big way. So to the class of 2020, I just want to say this, it's your time. You're ready. And when you officially get let loose, get after it. Go find your thing and chase your curiosities.
Oh, God. I gotta do my salutatorian speech today. Well, we might as well do it right now. Hello, my dear Bonzo High School family. It is truly an honor to speak to you all today. As 4 great years of education and experience draw to a close, I am thrilled to congratulate the class of 2020 on our grand accomplishment. I first want to say thank you, for I am indebted to you all. You have made a wonderful home for me in California these past 3 years, and have all pushed my mind, body, and character to mold me into the person that I am now. Therefore, I'd like to thank all my teachers, friends, family, mentors, coaches, competitors, and everyone who played a role, big or small, in my high school experience. A year ago, one of my best friends commented on an Instagram post of my friends and I that commemorated the end of our junior year. The comment read, "It's the light work. Class of 2020 is going to be the best the school's ever seen, dude." Indeed, many people, ourselves included, have built up this class and its older and younger companions as the forces of change which will make the world better for all. Unfortunately, there are also many members of my generation who continually see things with a defeatist, gloomy, and pessimistic point of view. They say things like, I can't, or it's impossible, or why me, or why now? You see, they wallow in echo chambers of despair and self-pity, or conversely, they howl in outrage at the universe and other featureless constructs of blame. But if we continue to say things like, I can't, then we will never be able to fulfill the vision that we have set for ourselves. Hang in there, Craig. Climate change. That is terrible. In order to be the people the world needs, we must say, I can. But not just stopping there, we also need to say, I will. And then we must do that which we set before us, so that we may say, I did. The only things which stop us from being able to say, I did, are our perceptions and our actions. If we perceive ourselves as powerless, then we will forever be stopped. And if we act as powerless, then we shall never try to move forward. That is why we must perceive ourselves as the powerful people we are, and then become powerful people that do. If you want to make good grades, you must study harder. If you want to make money, you must find work. If you want to be physically fit, you must go exercise. If you feel that you're wasting your time, then you must use it better. And if you want to be a better person, then do it. When we become people that do, then we will become the vision that has been set for us. And we must do, for as a wise man once said, do or do not. There is no try. And when we do the great things that we must, it will not be because we are the heroes of humanity. It will only be done simply because we are good people. With that said, I once again congratulate the class of 2020 on their accomplishment of graduating. I wish you all the best of luck on whichever life path you choose next. And remember, once a Legionnaire, always Legionnaire. Thank you.
Hello, fellow class of 2020 graduates, teachers, friends, and family. As I'm sure many of you all know, my name is Heather Holdo.
And my name is Sada Barclay, and we are so honored to be your co-valedictorians, even though this wasn't quite how we had expected to deliver this address.
These are unprecedented times for us all. 2020 has proven to be a unique graduation year, which is rather fitting for the uniquely talented students of Bonsall High School.
Over the past 4 years, if not longer, we have all grown very close and have truly become like the Bonsall High family that we set out to be. Our senior year may not have come to the end that we had hoped for, but we will always be able to reflect upon and cherish the times that we have shared as a class together.
Even though we aren't on a stage staring out at a crowd of our beloved friends and peers, take comfort in the fact that we are all in this together and with each other in spirit, no matter how socially distant. Seeing as how the seniors of BHS can make it through this global pandemic, I am more than confident that we will be able to make it through any adversity we face as we move on to higher education and/or enter the workforce.
As Legionnaires, we have gained many skill sets that most high school students will never have. In our freshman year, we mastered the art of architecture and trade as we built cities for our Machikoto project in Geolit. Physics class with Mr. Benedict showed us the most effective way to protect an egg from impact according to Newton's laws and deceleration.
Our sophomore year, we were literally in the trenches together after our unit on World War I, and what fun we had defending the front line with water balloons and squirters. Our French Revolution guillotines, built from the woodpile scraps, could rival those of the Reign of Terror. We also learned how to problem solve in teams during the Rube Goldberg project, the stress of which might have taken 5 years off of my lifespan.
Junior year, we became amateur rappers for a month, writing and producing historical Hamilton-based songs in American history. What feels like a century ago, we all partied in the roaring 20s at the class speakeasy in our swankiest attire. Not long after that, we experienced Great Depression, the Great Depression that is, and watched as our project's garden boxes either sprouted or turned to dust.
Senior year was our last step on the road to our diplomas, many of us preparing to send out college applications, relaxing in well-earned free periods, and spending a lot of time in limbo as we waited to receive our acceptance letters. What should have been our last day of school before we were unexpectedly sent to self-quarantine was actually senior ditch day. Nothing good ever happens on Friday the 13th, but I'm sure that many of us weren't expecting that day in March to be the last time on campus during our final semester.
After having been quarantined for 2 months, we were finally able to find a way to celebrate in a socially distanced fashion. On May 22nd, we as seniors paraded around the school campus to receive our caps and gowns, in addition to well-deserved awards that displayed our hard work over our 4 years at Bonsall. I'd like to believe that this ceremony has helped us all to receive some closure, as we honked, cheered, and waved to our peers and teachers alike.
I know that we have all been checking Canvas on the daily to see what assignments are left in this semester. It's almost like learning from home hasn't changed a thing. I'm proud of us and how we have managed to keep our sanity over the past few months while in isolation, though this may not have been so easy. While some may have seen this time as boring and spent a good chunk of it sleeping, which I admit to, others have taken it as an opportunity to better themselves and pursue their interests.
What a great time for us to learn to cook a wider variety of meals before heading off to college. At least we know we won't be relying on ramen noodles alone, though it will still be a staple in the dorms. Some have taken to exercising and improving their mental and physical well-being, while others have taken to binge-watching shows and movies that they didn't previously have the time for.
Through creating art, playing games, learning a new instrument, and pursuing new hobbies, we have managed to keep ourselves occupied. Despite all of the chaos in the world around us and practically shifting to becoming homeschooled, we continue to personally learn and grow in many ways.
Before this pandemic, I had never heard of Zoom, let alone imagined it to be our graduation platform. But as it's recently become one of the most commonly used forms of communication, I've become quite familiar with it. The same way I've become familiar with wearing face masks, keeping my distance from people if I ever leave the house, and thinking back on the days when I could see all of you in person. This hasn't been an easy transition for all of us, much less as seniors who were looking forward to prom and grad night, and no one could expect it to be. However, it is how we pick ourselves up from this and move forward with the knowledge that we have acquired that truly defines our character and the generation that we will become.
We would both like to acknowledge that we couldn't have gotten this far in life or our academic studies alone. I would like to thank my mother, who has done a wonderful job raising me to be the woman that I am today and who I learned my most valuable traits from. Her perseverance in hard times, her work ethic, and her good nature have inspired me, and I am so grateful to have been able to rely on her for help during every step of the way. My older brother Alex has always been a reliable source of strength and support for me. I'd like to thank my family friends, Monty and Cameron, for believing in me and having been invested in my journey from the start. As far as teachers and staff, all of you have made such a deep impact on my life, not only with your wonderful classes and wisdom, but also with how caring and kind you have all been to me throughout these years. Shout out to Mr. Costa for being a great teacher and friend throughout my humanities, creative writing, debate, and journalism courses. Thank you to Dr. Fowler, Ms. Kara, Ms. Crystal, Ms. Aaron, Mr. Svatos, Ms. Armijo, Mr. Hinchliff, Mrs. Knust, Mr. Van Hoosier, Mrs. Calderon, Mr. Hahn, Mr. Benedict, and everyone who I haven't mentioned, as the list goes on and on. I am so glad that I was able to have such an incredible educational experience at Bonsall High School.
I would like to thank my mom and dad and my brother, who many of you might know or find funnier than me, for their constant support and encouragement. I'd also like to thank the amazing people I have met at BHS for allowing me to feel comfortable in what I can safely call my second home. Additionally, I'd like to thank Heather for embarking on this crazy journey with me. Because of you guys, my high school years will always be special to me. There simply aren't enough words to express my gratitude for all the people that have contributed to my growth and success.
We are so fortunate to have many amazing friends, but a handful stand out in particular for their kindness, wonderful spirits, overall vibrant personalities, and playful senses of humor.
Thank you so much to these fantastic people. You know who you are. Much love. While reading history textbooks, who'd have thought that we would soon be the ones making history ourselves? We are the first virtually graduating class of Bonsall High School and are hopefully the last. While we may not know what the immediate future holds and how the world will rebuild itself in the coming months, we can be assured that we will have learned the value of loved ones, life experiences, and human connections. Even when the world seems off of its axis, it is easy to see the importance of community and empathy for others. We have been a part of the Bonsall community for quite some time, and now that we go off on our separate ways, we will all become a pivotal piece in so many different societies across the globe. We all have something to offer. In fact, we have a lot to offer, and I am so excited to see the mark that this graduating class leaves on history and the legacy that we leave behind for future Legionnaires to look up to.
I don't know the magic words to say to inspire everyone watching. Neither of us do. But that's okay, because it isn't magic that makes us great. It is our passions, our ambition, our imagination, and our humanity that makes us such strong forces of nature. I know that I don't even have to tell you all to go out into the world and do great things, but that you will naturally uplift and positively impact any part of the world in which you land. Power, intellect, and innovation are only a few words to describe us as Legionnaires, and there are so many more traits that come along with the educational experience we have all shared. At the forefront of the burgeoning workforce, we show unmatched collaboration, communication, creativity, agency, and drive. While I would say that the world is ours for the taking, that sounds a tad aggressive, so I will say that through our actions, we have the power to change the world for the better and to not be afraid of your purpose.
Though COVID-19 has left us with a rather pathetic jumping off point into the rest of our lives, know that things can only get better. Life was never meant to be easy, and if it were, then what would be the fun in that? Overcoming the obstacles that we face in life only builds character and makes us realize not to take anything for granted. Cherish the small moments. Cherish the times when you're eating lunch with friends or family on a sunny day. Cherish the crashing waves on the beach at sunset. Cherish the time you have alone to reflect. Cherish the puppies that you see walking down the sidewalk.
Bonsall is a small town, and there is so much left of the world that we have yet to explore. Every opportunity imaginable is out there, and it is up to us to find our way. We have been preparing for this milestone our whole lives, and the time has finally come. It seems as though just a day ago we were kids playing tag on the playground. Not much has changed. We are all still running around, but now we have a much bigger playground to navigate. As we barely cross the line into adulthood, there is so much more learning that we have left to do. These lessons aren't necessarily taught by teachers, but rather are life experiences that will enrich our minds and hearts. No matter where we are in the world or how distant we are from one another, we will always be Legionnaires.
And always remember to be loud, be proud, and be the Legion.
Congratulations to Bonsall High School's graduating class of 2020.
It is my great pleasure to deliver the senior charge. To the Bonsall High School graduating class of 2020, congratulations. It seems like just a short time ago you entered Bonsall High School as newly minted freshmen, prepared to start your high school journey. And here we are today. Your kindness and leadership exhibited over the last 4 years are hallmarks for how this senior class will be remembered. You have dealt with significant school closures, a fire, and now a virus, yet you continue to move forward, smiling. Special senior year moments, the last 2 months of school, prom, grad night, traditional graduation, have all been taken from you. The script has been changed, and that is not fair. However, your senior class has persevered. You have written a new playbook for entering adulthood, and it is your collective gift of determination that will serve the world well. Do not ever shrink from challenge. Strive for greatness in all that you do, and always remember you are Legion. As the great Tony Stark once said, following's not really my style. The BHS graduating class of 2020 lives and breathes that statement. Continue to do so. Congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Costa, for those inspiring words. To the class of 2020, we did it. It seems like just yesterday we were all freshmen dreaming about what it would be like to be seniors. Now here we are, graduating, closing the chapter of our childhood and starting a new one as adults. I want to thank every teacher and staff member for being our mentors and shaping us into the individuals we are today. One teacher in particular I'd like to thank is Mr. Van Hoosier. Going into freshman year, I was unbelievably shy and had a huge fear of public speaking. Oh boy, did that change with this ASB Public Speaking Levels project. He taught me to hold myself accountable and to be confident in my decision making. Another teacher I'd like to give a special thank you to is Miss Armijo. I think anyone who has ever had the pleasure of taking one of her classes can agree that she genuinely makes learning fun and interesting. I'm so grateful to have had her as a teacher. And finally, I want to thank Miss Kara. Without her help, I wouldn't have been able to plan both prom and grad night, regardless of whether or not they happen. I will forever cherish getting to spend the day at Universal Studios with you and Marin. We truly can't thank the staff and administration enough for helping us these last 4 years. To my fellow seniors, I know most of us were really looking forward to the senior year activities that we worked so hard for. However, I truly believe that this whole situation has allowed us to grow and mature. Going to Bonza High School has taught us a lot of things, ranging from how to collaborate in groups to building a Rube Goldberg machine. I honestly believe that we are all prepared for the next chapter of our lives. Good luck and congratulations to the class of 2020. Be loud, be proud, and be a Legion.
As the superintendent of the Bonsall Unified School District, and on behalf of the Bonsall Governing Board, I have reviewed and can confirm that those students celebrated here today have met the mandated requirements for graduation set by the Bonsall Unified School District Board and the California Department of Education. It is with great honor that I congratulate and confirm the graduates of Bonsall High School's class of 2020.
Thank you, Mr. Jones. It is with great enthusiasm that I present to you, families, and the community the now graduated class of 2020 for Bonsall High School. Congratulations, graduates.
Conrado Acevedo Batiz. Wahab Ademola. Lisbeth Aguilar. Austin Alanis. Austin Altizer. Elizabeth Amador. Nathan Bannister. Sada Barclay. Taylor Bristow. Amanda Brown. Bradley Brown. Jesse Brown. Cole Buccino. Gustavo Calderón. Jasmine Camacho. Blue Diaz. Jonathan Esposito. Abigail Ford. Isabella Ford. Leslie Galarza. Taylor Gibbs. Faith Joya. Taylor Gomez Douglas. Emanuel González. Tyler Harmer. Jocelyn Hendricks. Michaela Heinley. Mason Hodlin. Heather Holdo. Katrina Jaime. Avery Johnson. Keyston Jones. Nicholas Jordan. Najia Lamb. Ollie Lewis. Adriel Lopez. Brianna Lopez. Maria Macias. Olivia McNullah. Luis Medina. Cora Miranda. Hero Moore. Melina Mora. Jaden Winford Morse. Álvaro Moinedo. Emily Nahar. Marin Neese. Christopher Neidner. Connor Newton. Lisa Noasad. Jordan Knuckles. Samuel Olosagaste.
Andrea Orozco.
Alexis Paulnitz.
Gabriel Phillips.
Conrad Pineda.
Randy Richards.
Alexander Rickman.
McKenna Riddell.
Hunter Robillard. Miguel Rocha Pérez.
Jose Rodriguez.
Jessica Romero.
Elias Salvador.
Daisy Sanchez.
Madison Schneider.
Cassandra Sherman.
Gabriel Seitz.
Ashlyn Smith.
Ali Stahlheber.
William Vani.
Jack Wallace.
Nelson Wallace.
Madison Walsh.
Justin Weinbrenner.
Now, BHS Counselor Erin Chelland will lead the graduates in the turning of the tassel.
Congratulations, class of 2020. I'm so proud of all of you. I know it took a lot of hard work to get here, but you're finally here. The turning of the tassel symbolizes the end of high school and the beginning of the next stage in your life. So now you will turn your tassel from right to left.
From the lilac fields we prospered, banner of blue and white we fly. We came, we saw, we conquered, home of the Legion, Bonzo High.
Let's say just go with it. I don't think it's going to get any better.
Find your hat!
Mass chaos, class of 2020, Bonsall High School!
If you ever find yourself stuck in the middle of the sea, I'll sail the world to find you. If you ever find yourself lost in the dark and you can't see, I'll be the light to guide you. Find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah. If you're tossing and you're turning and you just can't fall asleep, I'll sing a song beside you. And if you ever forget how much you really mean to me, every day I will remind you. Oh, find out what we're made of when we are called to help our friends in need. You can count on me like 1, 2, 3, I'll be there. And I know when I need it, I can count on you like 4, 3, 2, and you'll be there. 'Cause that's what friends are supposed to do, oh yeah.